Welcome back. So today we're going to be taking a look at the Kylan V2 RTA. This is by Vandy Vape, and this is a 25 millimeter in diameter RTA. It does hold 5 mils of e-liquid with the bubble glass, 3 mils of e-liquid with the straight glass. It does come with an extra 810 style drip tip. It's a little bit different. I'll show you down below, as well as this one that comes with it. It does fit any of your Goon style 810 drip tips, which I love, love, love. It's got a slide fill feature, which can be good, can be bad, depending. Some people like the screw off top and some people like the slide fill. But yeah, so let's go ahead and take a look at it and go down, and then we'll come back up. Okay, so here we are with the Kylan or Keelan 2 version 2 RTA. This is the sample packaging. Your packaging is going to look much more different. It will also include an instruction booklet, but for the purposes of this review, we're going to be using my sample packaging. And you take off the top. Of course, there's nothing on the box that's actually going to explain anything to you because it is a sample. Included inside, you're going to get some coils, some triple fuse Clapton coils, 6 wraps, 0.41, made of nichrome, 83 millimeter in diameter coils. So these are going to be included. You're also going to get included another baggie. This is going to have some more grub screws, your 510 drip tip adapter, some O-rings, and your Allen key. You're also going to get this tool for measuring your coils to know where to cut them. It does say 5. It's already marked for you. This is actually made in part of Coily Tool. Coily Tool first came out with this tool here, but then a lot of the companies have actually wanted to incorporate and have contacted Coily to actually start making their own versions to fit in their boxes. So if you don't have one of these and you want a Coily Tool, if you go to coilclout.com, they do have the Coily Tool, so you can get them there. But they were actually created in the UK. So you do get that tool. Again, it is a size 5 for your coils. You're going to get a straight glass. With the straight glass, it holds 3 mils of e-liquid. And then you're going to get an extra drip tip, and I'm going to show you the difference of that in a second. And then, of course, you're going to get your RTA. The RTA does come pre-installed with the bubble glass, which I love that. I like not having to change it out because being that I like bubble glass, I always have to change it out. So I do like that it comes with the bubble glass. I just wish that it came with an extra one. It does say Kylan or Keelan 2 on it. It has the Vandy Vape logo, of course. As always, it's got an 810 Goon style drip tip that is included. And this is one of those plastic ones that's really, really nice and pretty. Again, it does come with the extra 810 drip tip, but this one is sort of like a donut style. It literally fits over this lip here. So it'll actually go down like this. It makes it more of a bigger wide bore than this one does. This one here has a little bit more tapered down opening than this one does, but they are about the same height. One goes in, one goes over. Those are the differences there. I'm gonna leave this one here. On the top, on some of them, they actually have a little arrow or a little white dot. Mine is actually not being able to be seen. I think it's because it's the black, the matte black. It's actually got this little dot. So you do have to look really hard for that dot. But once you find it, all you need to do is push it back like this, and then you would fill up your e-liquid down that little hole. Sorry, it is black. It is a little bit hard to see, but it still works like that. And then you just close it up, and it does close flush. On the bottom, you're going to get 2 airflow slits. Whatever you do to one side does happen to the other. And if you notice, it's closed off. You can't see through it. It's actually got a different type of airflow configuration, which I'll show you a picture of that later. On the bottom, you do have the protruding 510 drip tip, and this is a 25 millimeter in diameter RTA. It does say Kylan 2. It's got your serial number, Steven Zahn's signature there, and it is designed and manufactured by Vandy Vape. Now, to get inside or to change your glass or your coils or install your coils, all you have to do is just unscrew the base like this. I do like this knurling rather. It's really, really easy to actually grip it. And that's one pet peeve I've had before on different other ones. Inside, you're going to see this is really, really domed. I really like how shiny, how clean, how very smooth this is actually made. The original Kylan was made very well also, but this one I just feel like they've taken it up a notch in my opinion. The glass feels a little bit better. The inside feels a little bit better. It feels a little bit smoother. It's really, really nice and done very, very well, I have to admit. Now, if you want to change your glass, you can go ahead and pop it off and then put on the other one. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to risk. I'm really bad at breaking glass. Apparently, I have been doing that over the last 2 months, just breaking glass left and right, and it's always the bubble glass, so I'm not going to take that off. But you can just pop it out and then put in the other one if you want to. Now, of course, the star of the show. The star of the show, this is it. This is actually very similar to the original Kylan, except for they've improved the airflow. It does have side and bottom honeycomb type airflow, but the airflow system, the way that it comes in, if you notice it's coming in from here, it's actually got a different type of system, and you really can't see it from here. So I'm going to show you this picture right there. Okay, and then if you notice, it does have the screws right on the side, but they're kind of angled down. So that's to better grip your leads so that it's not going to be smushing them, which you know that we don't like them swishing, turning, or anything like that. You know, us reviewers, we just hate that. So that's to better suit it. Now, this deck is made for single or dual coils. I do recommend this deck for dual. You can do single. I've done single. I just feel like it thrives for dual coil. But if you want to do the single, I would recommend the Kylan Mini versus this one, because this one is kind of finicky and wicking, and I'm going to show you that when we put the build in it. But yeah, so that's basically it for this. These, of course, are your wicking channels. You're going to put your leads in like this. And yeah, so let's go ahead and put this on a mod, and we will start the process. Okay, and for today's coils, I'm actually going to be using my Fuse Claptons. I love the coils that they have included, but I much prefer using mine. These are by Coil Clout. I do buy them in bulk because, well, I love my Coil Clout coils. These are made of nichrome, and they are 3 millimeters in diameter. You can go to coilclout.com. If you use the code Wendy15, you get 15% off. And while you're there, if you want to get a coily tool, you can pick one up there as well. So I'm just going to put that off to the side, and then we're going to go ahead and get my coily tool out. And it did say for a size 5. So I'm going to be doing, oops, my drip tip. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and do the 5. I like to keep everything together, so I'm just going to do it on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and find the slots for the 5. I'm going to put my coil in like this. And then I'm just going to hold it down, flip it over, get my wire cutters, and I'm just going to snip. So snip right here and snip right here. Oops, I sometimes do that because I'm ready to pull away. And that's one coil, and then I'll go ahead and do the other one. Again, size 5. Put that right in here. And then hold it down, flip it over, and snip this one. And then snip this one. There we go. And then I've got my 2 coils, nice and even. I don't even have to put them side by side or anything like that. Now what I am going to do, because I do sometimes like to do this, I'm actually going to space out my coils. Sometimes I do space, sometimes I don't, but in this case I do want to go ahead and space them out. So I'm just going to put them on my jig, and I'm going to take the end here and I'm going to hold it. I'm going to take the end here, and I'm just going to pull them apart. And just go ahead and do that. Pull it apart, get my nail in the middle of that one, and just pull it apart and then spring it back together. And there we go. Got that one nice and spaced. And then I'm going to do the same for this one. I'll pull this one apart, grab that. Sometimes with nails it's not as easy, but it's like what I like to do. So I'm going to do that and then pull this one apart. There we go. Spring it back together. Nice and done. All right, so let's go ahead and unscrew these. And where did I put my handy dandy little tool? There we go. I think this one will fit it. Yep. Okay. And as you release it, it actually releases really, really smooth. You don't hear any type of like grinding or anything. You don't feel it. Really, really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and open those up. Open this one. And these are gold-plated screws. I haven't had any problems with any type of stripping or anything like that, and no paint chipping. So I'm really, really pleased with that. So let me go ahead and put that aside, grab my coil. I'll go ahead and put that one in here. So one in here, one in there. All right, like I said, one in here and one in there. There we go. Put that in like that, hold it down. Go ahead and tighten that up. Make sure my camera, that's key. Tighten that one down. And there we go. And yeah, I'm just checking it. We're gonna fix them afterwards and make them look pretty. But for now, I'm just gonna go ahead and put them in. Put one in there, one in there. Get that in there. Come on, pull it out just a little bit. Pull it out just a little bit. There we go. And screw that down. Screw that one down. There we go. Now what I'm gonna do is just get my screwdriver and we can go ahead and even these out a little bit. Over there, over there. You wanna make sure that they're not touching each other or touching metal either. That is really, really, really important. So I'm just gonna bring this one down a little bit more this way. There we go. And then bring this one up a little bit. There we go. And I am gonna just pinch this one together a little bit. There we go. All right, so we've got them nice and even. They're on there. They're not touching either side and they're not touching each other. If you've noticed, they're raised up evenly. So I'm gonna go ahead and start dry burning the coils. Just separate this one just a little bit more. My OCD is just like kicking in today, like really, really bad. Yeah, to me, they gotta be even everywhere. So let me go ahead and turn this down. 105 is just not gonna do it for me. And we'll go ahead and start heating up these coils. Okay. Get them to glow evenly. What we're looking for is for them to glow evenly from the inside out. If you notice, there they go. Nice and pretty. I literally love my Coil Cloud coils. They're absolutely gorgeous. So I'll just pinch them a little bit. There we go. All right, so they're heating up nicely. What I'm gonna do is go ahead and grab some cotton and then we'll wick these babies up. Look at them blues. Look at them blues. And for today's wicking, I'm actually gonna be using some cotton threads. I actually received a sample of these, so we are going to use them. They come like this, which they basically have like this tapered off or like shoestring type of end, so it makes it easier to get it through your coil, and they're already fluffed out. This is made of organic cotton, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put the first one through like this. There we go. Okay, got it through. And put the other one in. There we go. Oops, don't get you blocked off. There we go. So we've got those in there. And I'm gonna go ahead and trim them. Get my handy dandy scissors. Now, when cutting these, all right, this one here is actually cut perfectly. I'm gonna line it up to that one because it is basically to the edge of this deck that you want your cotton. So that is perfect. I'm gonna pull this out just a little bit more. It's very, very important that you wick this up right. So if the wicking isn't right, I would suggest going ahead and re-wicking it. You don't necessarily have to take out your coils, but you do need to go ahead and re-wick it. RTAs are very, they're learning curves. So if you don't get it right the first time, it's okay. Just keep trying and keep trying. You will get it right eventually. So now for these wicking channels, they are kind of small. We don't want to stuff it, but we don't want to put too little in it. Usually I fluff out my cotton a lot, depending on the RTA that I have. On this one, I'm not going to thin it out that much. The only thing I'm going to do to this one is I'm actually going to, with this cotton, I'm just going to trim off the ends a little bit. So that way it still stays thick up top, but it's going to be thinner down the bottom because we don't want to choke off that, that juice well. So I'm just going to trim it off just a little bit right here and right here. And then I'm going to show you, it'll fit. Oops, get that piece off. Looks like an uneven haircut, didn't it? Okay. And then we're gonna see how it fits in here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put it in there. I'm not gonna shove it into the juice channel, but I do want it to be a little bit firm, but not too firm. Like right now, that's too tight. That's definitely too tight. So I'm gonna thin it out a little bit more on the bottom. This one is very finicky if you don't do it just right. So again, I'm just gonna pull this out a little bit. There we go. Because it went in a little. And I'm just gonna thin it out in the bottom a little bit more. Put that in there. Yes, that's much better. It doesn't feel like it's being forced, but it does feel like there's enough in there. Just separate out my cotton a little bit because I don't, like I said, I want it to be wispy, but not choked out. Like I still have room in here. If you see, I can still fit my tweezers in there with no problem, and it's not choking it. So I do like that. And then we're gonna do the same thing on this side. And cut that end. Just cotton everywhere, don't I? Make a little cotton mess here. And this one is just a little bit too long. There we go. Just be on the bottom. Fitting my tweezer in there very nicely. So I can fit both of them still. It's perfect. Yep. Okay, so let's go ahead and juice this baby up. Now, I am super, super excited. I have been talking to Tasty Waves. Oops, sorry. Tasty Wave for a while because I had their Strawful cone, which is like a strawberry waffle cone a long, long time ago. And I keep trying to get more. And yeah, finally I got some more. So yeah, so we're going to be using this today. I am super, super stoked. Love this flavor. It was one of my favorite strawberry flavors. And turn this up a little bit. And we're just going to go ahead and get the cotton saturated within the wicks. Now, if you get a little bit of leaking at this point, it's going to be because of the fact that you're doing this and it is a bottom airflow. So you might get just a little bit of condensation in the bottom. That's okay. It doesn't mean that this is leaking. It just means that this is just the initial process. Once you go to fill it after, oh my God, I could smell this. Once you go to fill it afterwards, you're not going to be having that problem. Just go ahead and wet my wicks. And my OCD says put this cotton down. I'm so sorry. I do this to you guys every single time. I'm so, so sorry. And there we go. Just make sure that this is nice and flat in there. Okay. And a little bit more here. I can smell this. It smells so good. Like I was like, what can I do? I got to put it in something. So yeah. So then to put it together, what is really, really nice is you don't have to remove it from your mod or anything like that. All you need to do is just put this over here. Turn it so. It's nice and tight. Go ahead and find your little notch, which I'm gonna have to get something to put it on there or some glitter or something because that drives me nuts. And then go ahead and fill that baby up. And again, this does hold 5 mils of e-liquid with the bubble glass. And it does bubble out to about a 26 millimeter here, but it is a 25 millimeter diameter RTA. So let's go ahead, take it on top. We're gonna talk more about this. I'm gonna clean up some of this cotton mess. And yeah, so here we are back on top with the Kylan V2. And before anything, I'm gonna go ahead and have a vape and then we'll talk about it. Smooth, smooth, smooth. By the way, my coils did come out to a 0.17 and I am actually vaping this at 73 watts, which is so funny because every time that I ever raise or lower my wattage, for some reason, I never have an even number and everybody makes fun of me. So here I go again. Okay, back to the Kylan or Keelan, whichever way that you like to call it. I'm always opposite. I like it. I love the flavor. Like, I know exactly what this e-liquid tastes like. That's why I've been begging for it for almost a year now. Yum. One more vape. You can hear the smoothness. To some, it's going to be considered loud. To me, it's considered a decent airflow. I don't think that it's loud, but I mean, it sounds like a really smooth airflow to me. It really does. That's just me, but a lot of people will probably consider this to be kind of loud. Now I'm going to go over my cons on this first, and then we're going to go over my pros. My cons, there's really not too many. the first con is going to be that the slide fill, the slide fill. I know that some people like the slide fill, and I know that some people like the screw off. Either way, I don't care. It's just that I wish it had a locking mechanism. Being that a lot of people put them in their pockets or in their purses or things like that, I feel like when you have a slide fill, it should have some sort of a click or a lock, so that it doesn't accidentally open on you. It's very, very hard in the sense of like, it's not like super like fast or easy or smooth, or not smooth. It doesn't feel like there would be a problem, but I wanted to mention that because that to me, in a lot of these, I'm still trying to find the dot. Sorry. That's another con for me. You can't see the damn dot. You can't see it. So I have to like sit here and look for the dot. It's not hard and it's not easy. Like, see, you do have to put a little bit of pressure on it and a little bit of pressure to push it closed, and it seals really, really good. But I want to mention that for me, I think that any top fill, whether it be slide or otherwise, should have some sort of a lock. When you're screwing it on, you're tightening it on. That to me is a lock. But when it's one of these side fills, or slide fills rather, I feel like it should have a lock. That's pretty much it for that part. The only other con that I have to this is that it's going to be a little bit difficult for some people to wick. The Kylan, the original Kylan was that way too though. It was very finicky in the wicking. So it's very similar in that aspect. So if you have the original Kylan and you want to get this, you're going to be familiar with the wicking. It can be finicky. Again, you want it to be thick on top, but you want it to be thin enough to go into the juice flow holes. You don't want it to be packed in there. If you have it packed in there, you're going to get dry hits. If you have it too loose, you're going to have leaking. So you really, really need to watch how you're doing it. Now, the great thing about it is that if you're learning to wick, just all you have to do is you just take it off of your mod. This is awesome. This is why I love RTAs. Most RTAs. You flip it upside down, you unscrew the base, and you just do it again. It's that easy. You don't have to dump out your juice. You don't have to worry about wasting it or anything like that. You just flip it over, you open it up, and you change your wicks, your coils, whatever you need to do. So that is a plus, you know, for that. On my pros, I'm going to have to say first thing is going to be the flavor. I think it's this new airflow system that they have, which I did show you a picture of. The way that it goes in, and I can't even explain it. I'm not a scientist. I'm not trying to be a scientist. I don't work at NASA or anything like that. So I can't tell you how they did it, but they made it a really, really smooth and airy airflow. I really, really like it. And I love airy airflows. Another subjective con is going to be that it does sound kind of loud for other people. For me, it's not bothering me. Like I mentioned, to me, it just sounds like a really smooth airflow. For some, it's going to be kind of loud. I'm going to turn it down a little bit and see if maybe that helps. It definitely lessens the noise a little bit. The flavor intensifies though. So like the flavor was already up to like a 10. In my opinion, the flavor just went to like a 12. That's just my opinion. I usually don't rate flavors, but I have to tell you, in this, knowing this juice, this is literally spot on if I did a freaking knuckle test. It's really, really that good, which is very surprising because it's kind of, it's not small, but I don't know how to say it. It's really nice. It is really nice. The flavor is really, really up there. I do like it with it cut down a little bit, but I like airy airflows. But airy or not, still tremendous airflow. The look of it I think is great. It actually comes in 7 different colors. I'm going to go ahead and put the colors up here. And, you know, I personally would have loved to seen it in gold because like I'm going through this gold thing ever since Sigelli. It's like I'm going through gold. Now I want everything gold. I don't get anything gold, but I really like the gold. The newest color is frosted gray, which I think is really, really nice. This is the frosted black. They do have the stainless steel. They do have the gunmetal, but they're going to have a frosted gray too, which I think is really, really nice. Easy build deck. If you notice, you just take out the screws, you just unscrew it, you drop in your coils, you tighten down your screws, maneuver your coils to straighten. Very, very easy, simple build deck, I feel. It is single or dual. Honestly, like I mentioned below, I like the flavor and I like how it works better with a dual coil. Can you rock a single coil? Sure. Will you be able to wick a single coil? Sure. But the thing for me is that it thrives as a dual coil RTA. So I would not recommend it as a single coil. For a single coil, I would recommend the Kylin Mini. And the final pro is going to be the fact that the airflow is super, super smooth. I cannot stress how smooth this airflow is. It is just, you get absolutely no type of turbulence or anything. It's just super smooth. Even doing that, I can still taste the flavor, if that doesn't tell you something. I didn't even inhale. I didn't press the button. All I'm doing is testing out the airflow, and I can still taste the flavor. It's just, this is like a flavor RTA for sure. Let me see. The price, if I'm not mistaken, it's coming out. I'm not sure if it's out yet. The last time I checked, it was on pre-order, but my VPro is going to be having them for about $35.99. I cannot leave any affiliate links down below or any links due to YouTube's rules. But if you go over to my Wendy Vapes business page on Facebook, you will be able to actually find all my links. Those are all the trusted websites that I can share with you, including Vape Sources, my VPro, my Vapor Store, things like that. They're all over there. Element Vape, things like that. So yeah, so that's about it. I feel like the airflow is kind of unique the way that it's made. I haven't seen, or I don't remember one that's been like this where it goes in and around and it's going up, but it's got that center airflow piece too. So somehow all of it's coming together and it's making for a great airflow and great flavor. I like the fact, my last pro, I love the fact that you can change it out to any goon style drip tip. That to me is key because I like to do matchy-matchy, and if I can't do matchy-matchy, I'm not a happy camper. So I do like that you can change it out, and if you have a 510 drip tip, it does come with the adapter. So that's about it. That's it for my review. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the little bell notification so that you're notified anytime that I upload a new video, and I will see you on the next one. Yum.